guys, we are back with another song by Eminem. And which one are we doing today?
Today we're doing Gnat.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know it.
this was a single off of the album.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a music video and all that.
Was it on the radio?
Maybe we always say this. I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But
But
it's always a good gauge for like how well known the song is or not.
it was definitely released as a single though, so I'm sure it got some airplay somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yes. So you know it. Do you remember anything about it in particular, or
I just know I know it. When
by
I
the
hear it,
name?
I'll be like, oh, right, it's that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't remember.
Yes.
I never remember.
So we'll listen. We'll break it down like
Yes.
normal, right?
Sounds good. And this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. Carnivore Snacks is one of my favorite snacks ever and my absolute favorite meat snack. This is the bison sliders. I'm sure people are wondering why I still have the same bag from like weeks ago. So I'm pregnant, and when you're pregnant, you really aren't supposed to eat things like that. So I'm saving it until I'm not pregnant anymore. If it's still good by then, I'll just get more. It is what it is. But my favorite are the sliders. These are the bison sliders. They have a bunch of other sliders, and the lamb sliders are my favorite. I say this in every single video, but it's true. They also have a Wagyu blend that you guys should try. I think you have to be a member. Can you go to the page to see if you still have to be a member?
No, you don't.
You don't?
Checked it out.
You no longer have to be a member. You can just buy it. It is Joe Rogan's favorite snack, as you can see there. And absolutely delicious. They're like eating meat potato chips. Carnivore Snacks likes to say it's like eating a meat pastry. I'm a fan of the potato chip idea. It is still on membership.
No, so this is the round bottom. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's on membership. If you want a membership, give it a shot. I have not tried them yet, but I'm looking forward to trying them soon.
Yes.
Just 4 more months to go. But yeah, you can use our coupon code WithSmith for 15% off your order, and the link is in the description below. And we are also sponsored by SeatGeek, which is my absolute favorite website to buy tickets from. And you can get tickets for concerts, sporting events, comedians, literally anything you can think of. They've got tickets for it. There's like any other ticket website. But what makes them different is you can use our coupon code for your first purchase and you will save $20, which is really great. And use this code with Smith. And the link is in the description below. And follow us on social media channels if you want to. That's our handle for everything. Yeah, that's about it.
Don't make this, let's see.
We're going bigger.
We are, because
A little
people
bigger.
don't need to see our bodies,
No.
right?
I'm not. No.
Okay, so this is Gnat, which is track number 8, I believe. Let's double check. Yes. Track number 8 off of Music to Be Murdered by Side B. So here we go.
They say these bars are like COVID. You get them right off the bat. Infected with SARS and Corona. Like you took a bite off of that. Then it goes from Martian to human. That's how the virus attacks. They come at me with machine guns, like trying to fight off a gnat. Still stacking my chips, hoes. Higher than Shaq on his tiptoes. Top the Empire State Building. This shit is like child's play children. I will annihilate, kill them. I fuck around and pile 8 million dead little juveniles. Wait, children, I'll await my trial. They tilting. What then? Ain't nothing you say could ever trump. Mike Pence will get killed. If you're hypersensitive, I wasn't referencing the vice president. Chill. I mean, my penmanship at times tends to get ill. Violence, but with skill. That's why I hints when I write instant with the mic and pencil getting killed. Yeah. And I'm still rider, die for the squad. So you know which side that I'm on if a battle line's ever drawn. But if I get involved, it'll be like canines in a brawl. But not similar to Mike Vick at all. Cause even if I don't have a dog in the fight, they ain't never gonna get rid of the fight in the dog. Got stripes like a tiger, so you might get mauled. A mic in the palms like claws, I can swing right for your jaw and rip it off with one swipe of the paw. Bitch, you still on my dick or no? If I suck, your wife is a straw. I'm sick and I'm not gonna cover my mouth next time that I cough. They say these bars are like COVID. You get them right off the bat. Infected with SARS and Corona. Like you took a bite off of that. Then it goes from Martian to human. That's how the virus attacks. They come at me with machine guns. Like trying to fight off a gnat. Yeah.
Sorry, my dog keeps tapping me with her foot, and it's like extremely distracting. I was like, what is that? I just feel something on my leg. I'm like, I hope it's not a spider, but it's my dog.
Yeah, every time we do these videos, she sits right underneath our feet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
wants to be a part of it.
yeah. So it starts off with the chorus, which is Eminem, and he says, "They say these bars are like COVID. You get them right off the bat, infected with SARS and Corona, like you took a bite off of that."
So it just goes along with like the idea everyone was rumoring that COVID came from bats that people were allegedly eating in Wuhan,
Yeah,
but we know now that it came from
lab.
the lab in Wuhan. It did. And like the bars are like COVID, you get them right off the bat, like get them off the bat, like you get them immediately, you pick up on what the bar is immediately.
Hmm.
Or you know, like COVID, you get it from a bat, even though you don't.
Yes. So he's invoking this parallel of his rhymes being equivalent to a sickness, which we've heard from him before, but specifically
Right.
here, COVID, right? So that's like the whole theme of the hook.
And this song came out like peak COVID.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. Infected with SARS and Corona, like you took a bite off of that. So what do you think that that is?
A bat,
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing too.
like Ozzy.
Yeah. Continues, and it goes from Martian to human. That's how the virus attacks. They come at me with machine guns, like trying to fight off a gnat.
So he's talking about. Okay, so is he talking when he's saying Martian to human, the virus attacks? Is he talking about his bars attacking or like people attacking him?
Nah. So like he's the Martian and he's giving the bars to the humans.
Okay,
You know what I
got
mean?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's because the bars are like COVID, so it goes
Right.
Martian. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember the first time I heard this, I was like, oh, I know what he's saying, but I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, wait, it took me a second to actually exactly understand the specific metaphors. Like, I get the whole theme of
Yes.
like, oh, yeah, it's, his bars are like an infectious disease, but I was like, oh, it took me a second
Well,
to
it's
figure.
also realizing that like Martian, like he calls himself that
Yeah,
sometimes.
yes. And then they come at me with machine guns. It's like trying to fight off a gnat. So, few meanings there, but just
Like,
anybody, but.
yeah, like he's basically saying like, oh, they come at me as hard as they possibly can, but it's like trying to fight off a gnat. Like super simple.
Yeah, your
Like it's
hardest is
nothing.
nothing. It's like it's easy for me to swat you away, and obviously Machine Gun Kelly calling him a gnat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because he is.
Okay, so then he comes in first verse. He says, "Still stacking my chips, hose, higher than Shaq on his tiptoes, atop the Empire State Building. This shit is like child's play, children."
So stacking your chips, like you think of like a casino, and then he's higher than Shaq on his tiptoes, so he's super high, super up there,
On
and
top of the Empire. So Shaq on his tiptoes on top of the entire state
but oh
building.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
So
very high up there.
exactly. So he's got a lot of money. And he
Yeah,
said this is like Child's Play children. So Child's Play the movie with Chucky the doll. So it ties into the next line. So Chucky kills, people.
yeah.
But he does invoke Child's Play and then children, right? So then in the next line when he says, "I will not annihilate." I could have sworn he says, "I will annihilate." Yeah, that's weird. The lyrics are wrong there. It says, "I will annihilate, kill them. I'll fuck around and pile 8 million dead little juveniles. Wait, chill then. I'll wait my trial date till then."
Okay,
So he invokes the child's play, right? And then the children. He says, "I will annihilate, kill them." So Chucky kills people, right?
yeah.
And then he says, "I'll fuck around and pile 8 million dead little juveniles." So again, the child's play, right? And then the children, he's tying it back into juveniles, children, child's play, killing them.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to wait and then kill 8 million and then wait for his trial. So that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Then he continues, "Ain't nothing you say can ever trump. Mike Pencil get killed. If you're hypersensitive, I wasn't referencing the vice president. Chill.
So nothing you say can ever trump, like nothing can beat out what he says, but then also trump Donald Trump, and then Mike, microphone, pencil, get killed. Like he'll kill you on the mic with his raps and bars, but then also Mike Pence will get killed.
Yeah.
Like that is like a double entendre, but then he's like, okay, fine. Like I didn't mean that, is what he kind of essentially says.
Well, so yeah, I remember the first time I heard this, I was like, okay, I know he's doing something here. I was like, but there's no way he's actually saying that. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't actually say that he's going to kill Mike Pence. So I'm like, what's going on here? And then I was like, okay, I see the Mike pencil. So nothing you can ever do is going to be better than Eminem's Mike or his pencil, right? And then, as you already pointed
He'll
out,
kill you with his bars.
yes, I wasn't referencing the vice president. Chill. I mean, my penmanship at times tends to get ill, violent, but with skill. That's why I hints when I write ends up with the mic and pencil get killed. I just want to make sure that's why I hinted when I write ends up with mic and pencil get killed. Yeah, okay. So his penmanship gets ill. He's violent but skillful. So the lyrics here, it says the same. I have Lyric Genius open like I normally do. It says that's why I hence when I write ends up with the mic. To me it sounded I thought he was saying hints like HINTS because that's why I hence when I write ends up. Do you know what I mean? Like
I don't get it.
I mean, because hence, I mean, I know what it means. Like henceforth, like it means like because of this, then this, right? But always thought he was saying hints, like so. That's why I hint when I write. So like he was doing a acknowledgement to like he's hinting at the shit with Mike Pence, even though he's saying Mike and pencil. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't know. Lyric Genius says hence, and so does this video, but I thought it was hints. So whatever.
I still don't get it. It's fine.
What don't you got?
What does hensing when you write mean?
Well, so no, so that's why I hence, so it'd be a comma.
Oh, okay. We need some commas in these videos.
When I write,
I get it. That's
ends up
why
with the mic.
I
Hence,
hence
when I
when I
write,
write. I get it. Okay.
I still think it means hint, but
We
it
need some
could be
commas.
hence. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna end up with the mic and pencil getting killed. So,
Got it.
like he said the first time, he just explained it to let it be known that he wasn't threatening the current vice president at that time.
Yeah.
And he says, and I'm still ride or die for the squad, so you know which side that I'm on. If a battle line's ever drawn, but if I get involved, it'll be like canines in a brawl, but not similar to Mike Vick at all, because even if I don't have a dog in the fight, they ain't never going to get rid of the fight in the dog.
Self-explanatory?
Yeah. So he's still ride or die for the squad. So this is interesting. He goes on the heels of the whole Trump Mike Pence scheme. And he says the squad. So I don't know if he's referencing the squad, which is the Democratic House members, which is AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Presley. So they're known as the squad. They were like the new congresswomen that came in the same time Trump did, right? So they're literally known as the squad. So I don't know if this is double entendre because I said this is like right on the heels of the Pence and Trump line. So he says, I'm still ride or die for the squad. I don't know if it's reference to that. Obviously, if you ride or die for the squad,
But like,
let's say it doesn't
ew.
mean that. He just means like, like his group, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then so you know which side that I'm on if battle lines get drawn. So he's saying, so that is what makes me think he might be referencing, the politicians, because he's like, if the battle lines ever get drawn, you know which side I'm on, which
Yeah.
again is
Okay, so maybe it is a reference to that.
which is also, I think, a subtle reference to his BET cipher when he did that shit about Trump, and then we heard on Revival where he like walked it back a little, where he's like, I would
Yeah.
change the way I worded it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that battle lines, if they do get drawn, I think it's a subtle hint to that, right?
Basically just telling us like what his political stance is, even though it's already been made abundantly
Where he
clear like
stands.
long ago.
Yeah. So then this is, but if I do get involved, it'll be like canines in a brawl. So obviously canines are dogs for the police force. So it's wild. And then he invokes the dog, but not similar to Mike Vick, who obviously had the dog fighting ring that he got in trouble for. I think he went to jail for. And then he does the play on, even if I don't have a dog in the fight, they ain't gonna never get rid of the fight and the dog. So obviously a dog in the fight, meaning it's like you're picking a side.
Yeah.
But so that's on the heels of him saying, you know which side I'm on if the battle lines get drawn. So he's like, but even if I don't have a dog in the fight, there's still a dog in me that's fighting.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, it ties it back in there. All right. Then continues, got stripes like a tiger, so you might get mauled. A mic in the palms, like claws, I can swing right for your jaw and rip it off with one swipe of the paw.
So yeah, another self-explanatory in my opinion.
So the got stripes like a tiger.
Yeah.
So stripes are like if you're like in the military, it means
Oh.
that
Like he's been in fights.
yeah, because he's not saying that he has red and orange and black stripes. You know what I mean? Stripes like when you move up in the military, you'll get like they call it like stripes. You're like badges or whatever. You'll get an extra stripe if for a
Yeah,
state
like
you
for doing
served in
things.
or
Yeah.
like your rank. So he's saying I got stripes. So like he's a veteran, right? He's been around, and then he invokes the tiger, which is their physical stripes, and then he does maul, and then palms,
So like
claws,
a tiger scheme.
yeah, and then paw,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
Okay.
So when he does
I mean, that's pretty clear.
the tiger, he has the mic in the palm is like claws. So he's saying he uses his mic the same way a tiger does and goes for your jaw and rips it off with just one swipe. Then he continues, bitch, you still on my dick or nah? If I suck, your wife is a straw. I'm sick and I'm not going to cover my mouth next time that I cough.
So are you still obsessed with him? And if he sucks, then your wife is a straw, meaning he's doing shit with your wife.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just gonna keep spitting bars.
Yeah, so he's doing so this is funny. Without the music video, this line seemed very out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? In the video, he's just walking and there's a man and a woman, assumedly a husband and wife, and he turns to them and says, "Bitch, are you still in my dick or not?" But like in the context of the song without the video, it's just like random, kind
But
of.
wasn't this written before the music video?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine, you know what I mean? Unless he came up with the whole concept at once, but I doubt that. And then yeah, the I'm sick and I'm not going to cover my mouth next time I cough. So again, this goes back to like the chorus, yeah, and then obviously the the disease being spread, but obviously his disease can't be spread by coughing, so all that.
All right.
All right, so that's going to be the only pause we do. That's why I let the chorus play to the second time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just let it play out.
Seems good.
Yeah, yeah. DA got that dopey sense to me. It's like pneumonia symptoms of contracting COVID instantly, which is what separates my flow from theirs so that no one gets even close to this to pose a risk to me. So vocalistically, that's social distancing. Yeah. Flow going viral, you best stay strapped with that Lysol and get way back, get that Pine Sol and that Ajax, cause this dry cough is just like football umpires calling a playback. Bitch, back the fuck up like 15 yards, these rhymes call for a face mask. Another 14-day quarantine, they're cordoning off everything. This shit looking like a horror scene, like me metaphorically. Does them stay-at-home orders seem like they just keep getting more extreme? Who knows when this night Marilyn, like Monroe, Norma Jean. Still got that heroin, lyrical drip with that morphine and that Thorazine. Cause I'm so fucking dope, and you're a fiend. And that's the one thing that hasn't changed, for some semblance of normalcy. But I might need that hydrochloroquine, cause I got that. The dark horse, I'm a nightmare. Mom fed me Valium like air. Thought that's why they called it a high chair. I got a contact like eyewear. Whoa, wait a minute, bitch, let me lie here. 2020 hindsight in my side mirror. Every year you drop the ball like Times Square. My hair trigger whenever I get an idea. It's like, fuck, now my name rings out like a sponge mop. My drip was a drop in the bucket, so that gunshot you just heard just now in that one spot just came from the 9 mil that I just got. That's big bucks and I got a full money clip and I'm loaded. I ain't even mean to go the fuck off. Totally inappropriate with an opiate, groping it while I'm holding it like a trophy. I'm hoping a little codeine will give me OD, and whoa, everything is slow. I begin to floating. I know that I'm getting loaded. The pin exploded. Hiroshima with the flows of utopia. With the dope, I'm an OG. I'm like the goat here to get your goat. Little bit of sodium. It's the salt when I'm at the podium. Bitch, your throat holy. Camoli, I'm in the zone with the shit I'm on. Get Modi. I'm in a commode because nobody's even close. You're petroleum to plutonium. You're a phony. I'm at the crib, but your hoe got her at the pole like voting. With no clothing, stripped down to a toe ring. And here we go with the gloating. I got my nose in the air like a Boeing. Then I got into a little bit of an argument with her, so I took a little lick make a vocal line up in a dinner. Then I hit it with the motherfucking ottoman and bitter. Then I shot her in the liver, delivered it to the bottom of the river. But I'm probably gonna jump in the water with a water money, cause I got a lot of it. And when it come to dripping, I be stopping like 100 mile an hour, never running out of either one of them. I gotta get it, cause these bars are like COVID. You get them right off the bat. Infected with SARS and Corona. Like you took a bite off of that. Then it goes from Martian to human. That's how the virus attacks. They come at me with machine guns. It's like trying to fight off a gnat.
I don't remember this song switching the beat 3 times.
I know, it's so
well,
crazy.
it's 2 switches, 3 different beats.
Yeah, I know, it's wild.
I was like, what? And I was like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
it's cool. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best part of the song, you know. All right, so he comes in, second verse, and he says, he uses the producer tag, which we've heard, D, I got that dope. He says, and D, I got that dope he sends to me. So it's cool the way he uses the tag as part of the rhyme, and we actually hear it.
and he's like, that dope is the beat.
Yes. It's like pneumonia symptoms and contracting COVID instantly.
So saying it's like sick beat.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, DA got that dope. He produced this track. Which is what separates my flow from theirs, so that no one gets even close to this to pose a risk to me. So vocalistically, that's social distancing. This is a very clever line.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So it's interesting though, because it's pretty much implying, he says, which is what separates my flow from theirs. He's almost crediting the beat for his flow. Do you know what I mean?
I
Because DA got that dope.
yeah.
DA got the dope he sends to me. It's like pneumonia symptoms and contracting COVID instantly, which is what separates my flow from theirs.
Yeah, that is.
Do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
I don't think I guess he is saying it's dope, but whatever. So either way, he invokes this scheme where he says it separates my flow from theirs, and then no one gets even close to pose a risk to me. Meaning, like, nobody can even come close with his flow, right? That's,
or his beats or anything. Like, you're not getting what I'm getting.
Yeah, and it's even if they did come close, it wouldn't be a risk to him. So vocalistically, so the way he rhymes, and then he says that's social distancing. So
And so basically, it's just socially separating me from you because that's
yes,
what social distancing is.
yeah, because it's supposed to be risky. So yeah, I love that line. All right, and then on that same theme of COVID, which is the whole song, he says flow going viral.
Viral.
You best stay strapped with that Lysol
Lysol.
and get way back. Get that Pine Sol and that Ajax. Because this dry cough is just like football, umpires calling a playback.
Cough.
So yeah, he's doing the viral double entendre, and then like you said, the cleaning products, the Lysol, Pine Sol, Ajax, dry cough symptom from being sick. So might be my favorite line in the song coming up. So he says, it's just like football umpires calling a playback. Right? So like referees, umpires in sports, if there's a penalty, they'll call the play back, right?
What does that have to do with a dry cough?
So it's coming up to the next
Okay.
lines. Yeah, so he's just saying because this dry cough is like football umpires calling a playback, right? And then he explains why it's like that. He says, bitch, back the fuck up like 15 yards. These rhymes call for a face mask. I love this fucking line. So in football, when it's a penalty to grab the face mask of an opposing player, and when you do that, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Because then you have like full control of them, kind of.
Yeah, and you could fucking hurt them. But so that's a 15-yard penalty in football when you grab a face mask, which is a lot. It's only 10 yards to get a first down, so you automatically get a first down. You get moved 15 yards up the field, right? So, looking at the line in context, he says, because this dry cough is just like football umpires calling a playback. Bitch, back the fuck up like 15 yards. These rhymes call for a face mask.
Okay, I would have never gotten that because I don't know football like that.
Yeah, exactly. So the dry cough, right? So if somebody has a dry cough, these rhymes call for a face mask. So you put a face mask on, right? If you have the cough, you know what I mean? And then
a wet cough too, especially a wet cough.
And then like I explained, the face mask holding is a 15-yard penalty. So it's back up. I love this. I think that's my favorite line in the song. He continues, another 14-day quarantine. They're cordoning off everything. The shit's looking like a horror scene, like me, metaphorically. So this is just talking about what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
They had 2 weeks to stop the spread, which went into 3, 4, 5, and then it was, I don't know, years at some places. You know what I mean? So it's funny because we've heard on his albums that he's like a little, he was, scared of COVID, like a lot of people, but then at the same time, he's like, okay, this is getting like excessive. So it's interesting. And he's saying it's a horror scene like me metaphorically. So saying I'm a horror
Makes
scene
sense.
and kill people, all that. Because them stay-at-home orders seem like they just keep getting more extreme.
Yeah, they did.
Who knows when this nightmare will end? So nightmare will end like Monroe, Norma Jean.
I don't get that.
So it's because you're reading the lyrics literally. He says, "Who knows when this nightmare will end?" Like
Oh,
Monroe,
okay.
Norma Jean.
So it sounds like saying Maryland.
Yeah, so Marilyn Monroe. So yeah, this is the same thing about the same stay-at-home orders. They're getting extreme, and then he says, "Who knows when the nightmare of the stay-at-home orders will end?" But then the Maryland, Marilyn Monroe, and then Norma Jean is Marilyn Monroe's birth name, her real name.
Yeah,
Um,
Norma Jean Baker.
yeah, that's right. Then he continues. He says, "Still got that heroin lyrical drip with that morphine and that Thorazine, because I'm so fucking dope and you're a fiend."
So basically, he puts out that those bars that you love, just like if he were a dealer dealing out the drugs that you're addicted to.
Yeah. So
Hey.
the heroin lyrical drip. So he's using like the drip, like I got that drip, right? But it's a double entendre, like a drip of morphine or
Yeah,
heroin. You know what I mean? And then Thorazine, which is funny. That's the shit they give you like in the psych
yeah, it
ward,
turns you into like,
a zombie.
yeah, that's like when you're freaking out and they hold you down and they inject you, and then all of a sudden you're just like completely complacent and like not moving. That's
It
Thorazine.
sucks though, because it's not like a narcotic. It doesn't like make you feel good while you're
No.
that. It's not a good fucked up. It's wild. And then yeah, I'm dope and you're a fiend. So you're dope fiends for his music. And that's the one thing that hasn't changed for some semblance of normalcy. But I might need that hydrochloroquine because I got that.
Which is so funny that he's mentioning that because this was before it was so blown up into being like the enemy, like, oh no,
Yeah.
don't do hydrochloroquine,
And
don't do any of that, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, it is funny.
But yeah, like when he is rapping this, I remember there were doctors constantly being interviewed by the news, like random doctors that they just found at the hospital. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been taking the hydrochloroquine prophylactically,
Yep.
and like now it's like the enemy."
Because yeah, it was used to treat malaria. It's like it
Mm.
was on the World Health Organization's top.
Or am I think did they
No, they
start taking
were.
hydrochloroquine?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
did.
big time.
Just like they did with the
Ivermectin.
ivermectin. Not as bad as ivermectin now, but now there's aren't they saying that they can help
Yeah,
COVID now?
there's studies, but yeah, it was wild. Um,
So ridiculous.
so yeah, he's saying that's, the fact that he's got dope music that hasn't changed, that's the one semblance of normalcy. But I might need that hydrochloroquine, which was, debated to be used as a treatment for COVID. And then he says, "Cause I got that." And then we pick up here where he says, "The dark horse, I'm a nightmare. Mob fed me Valium like air. Thought thought that's why they called it a high chair. I got a contact like eyewear. Whoa, wait a minute, bitch. Let me lie here."
So dark horse and nightmare, like nighttime is dark and a mare is a horse.
Yes.
Fed him Valium like air, self-explanatory. Like a high chair, like basically saying that you would give it to him when he was in his high chair, but also like a high chair because you're getting high while in the chair. You
Yes.
got a contact, meaning like a contact high,
I guess you're smoking weed
maybe.
because that's, you don't get a contact from, you get a contact from not consuming it directly.
Yeah. So
So,
contacts from maybe like everything else.
yeah. And then, so we'll remember this part where he says, "I got contact like eyewear," right? So he invokes that. So it's a play on contact high and then literally eyewear.
Yeah.
Then he says, "Well, wait a minute, bitch, let me lie here." So it's like he's fucked up from
Yeah.
the
The
drugs, right?
Valium and shit.
Yeah. And then he
Why did
says,
she give him Valium? To keep him quiet?
yeah. Then he continues, "2020 hindsight in my side mirror. Every year you drop the ball like Times Square. My hair trigger whenever I get an idea.
So 2020, it was the year 2020. Everyone was saying all those little 2020 cliches now that are cliches now.
Yes. So yeah, this is I guess three meanings. The
Yeah,
2020
go for it.
so 2020 hindsight. So the year was 2020. So there's that. 2020 vision, which ties back to the contact eyewear line,
Yes,
right?
yes. And like I'm seeing clearly.
Yes. And then, yeah, so it's the same for 2020 vision. It's literally, but the literal definition is also the figurative, the 2020 vision. You know what I mean? So you could see it
Yeah.
clearly. And then, yeah, in my side mirror. So I guess it's interesting that he doesn't say rear mirror. I mean, I know it doesn't rhyme, but it's interesting that he said 2020 hindsight in my side mirror instead of rear mirror. You know what I mean?
I don't.
And then whatever. Every year you drop the ball like Times Square. So every year you're fucking up, the ball drops in Times Square. And he says, my hair trigger whenever I get an idea.
Like a
So
gun.
yeah, like a hair trigger.
Or you
Um
could also think like the hair, like his hair stands up.
yeah.
Like, oh, good one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do think that is what he meant. So then I believe at this point the beat changes. There is a shot you hear, a gunshot, right? And that's important
Oh, there you go.
because
It goes with hair trigger.
hair trigger, and then he says, fuck. Now my name rings out like a sponge mop, and my drip was a drop in the bucket. So that gunshot you just heard just now in that one spot. So it
His name
continues.
rings out like a SpongeBob, meaning like people are always saying his name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then okay. So he does the hair trigger, right? So that's the introduction to the gun scheme. And then he said, my name rings out like a sponge drop. So
You ring out a mop.
so that too. So a gunshot does ring out. You hear it. You literally
Oh,
ring
right.
WRING like a sponge mop. And he says, and my drip was a drop in the bucket. So, drip. So it's interesting. Drip, it means so many things now. It could mean like
Yeah.
clothing, but it could be, like your money. So is that a drip was a drop in the bucket, meaning like not a lot, right?
Yeah.
But
Like his contribution.
so the sponge mop though goes with the bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the drip and drop. So then he
Oh, yeah. It was like a
continues.
mop cleaning scheme.
Yeah, and a gun scheme. So then he says, so that gunshot you just heard just now in that one spot, which we heard in the actual music, just came from the 9 mil that I just got. That's big bucks, and I got a full money clip, and I'm loaded. I ain't even mean to go the fuck off. Okay, so this is like a continuation scheme from before. So he's still doing the gun scheme, right? But then he's doing also like the money scheme where he says my drip was a drop in the bucket, right? So
Yeah.
it was only a little bit. That's like nothing. And he says so that gunshot just came from the 9 mil that I just got. So he's doing again a play on like the sound of the gun,
Yeah.
right? And then the actual money, and then he continues into the money scheme with 9 mil, so 9 mil gun, 9 millimeter, and then big bucks, which is also gun and money, and I have full money loaded clip and I'm loaded. So it's a gun and money scheme, which goes back to there, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
Nah.
his point is saying it's just his drip is a drop in the bucket because that 9 mil that he got is nothing compared to all the money that he has in general.
Gotcha.
And I didn't even mean to go the fuck off. I'm still totally inappropriate with an opiate, groping it while I'm holding it like a trophy. I'm hoping a little codeine will get me ODing. Whoa, everything is slow. I begin to floating. I know that I'm getting loaded. The pen exploded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's straightforward. He's
Inappropriate with an opiate can also mean like he's an addict, so he can't handle it.
yes, and that's what he says, groping it while I'm holding it like a trophy. So
Oh, yeah, like
the
it's so
addiction,
special. Yeah.
exactly. And then he's saying he's hoping that a codeine will have him OD. And then this part here is like I begin floating. It's as if he's intoxicated and he's high.
Yeah, but he's comparing it to writing his lyrics.
Yeah. And then I know that I'm getting loaded. The pen exploded. Hiroshima with the flows, a utopia with the dope. I'm an OG. I'm like the goat, here to get your goat. Little bit of sodium. It's assault when I'm at the podium, at your throat. Holy camoli. I think doesn't he say cannoli? I'm in the zone with the shit I'm on. Okay, so This part's interesting. So Hiroshima is actually a song by a band named Utopia.
Oh,
So
yeah, I wouldn't have.
that's
That would have been like, I don't get it.
yeah. So that's a little a tie in there.
Okay.
Yeah, Hiroshima with the flows. Obviously, Hiroshima is where the atomic bomb was dropped, by the U.S. on Japan.
Yes.
So he's like a bomb. A Utopia with the dope. I'm an OG, so yeah, he's an OG. He's been around in a while. I'm like the goat, so he's the greatest of all time. And
Yeah.
then he says, "Here to get your goat with a little bit of sodium." It's a
Like a salt, like a salt,
yeah. So he's here
salt.
to get your goat is to like get on someone's nerves, piss them off, right?
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's an assault. The sodium, that's the thing. When I'm at the podium at your
And then
throat.
goat and goat.
Yes. And then, oh, it is Kamali. He does say Kamali. That's so funny. Holy Kamali.
That's fine,
I'm in
I
the
guess.
zone with the shit I'm on. Get a modium and a commode because nobody's even close. You're petroleum to plutonium. You're phony. I'm at the crib with your hoe. Got her at the poll like voting with no clothing.
So Imodium is what you take when you have diarrhea and you want to not have diarrhea.
Yeah, that goes with the, I'm in the line before the, I'm in the zone with the shit I'm on.
Oh, okay.
Get the Imodium
It's a
commode.
shit, the
Yeah.
poop scheme.
Yes.
And then nobody's even close. You're petroleum to plutonium, which is interesting because petroleum is like, I know petroleum jelly, like Vaseline, is inert, and then plutonium is like radioactive.
Exactly.
So you guys are like not even in the same category of elements.
Exactly.
You're fake. He's at the crib, girl, got her at the poll, like voting with no clothing. So you vote at the polls, but then like stripper pole, no clothing.
Oh, interesting. I just assumed the pole was his dick, but it could be a stripper pole.
Oh,
Yeah.
triple entendre, I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe. Yeah, so like voting with no clothing, stripped down to a toe ring, and here we go with the gloating. I got my nose in the air like a Boeing. So no clothing, she only has a toe ring on, and he's about to start gloating, and he has his nose in the air like a Boeing, which is a plane. So because he's gloating, that's why he has his nose in the air. Then he says, then I got into a little bit of an argument with her. So I took a little lick of a Klonopin at dinner. Then I hit her with the motherfucking ottoman and bit her. So this is literally
Yeah.
straightforward. There's nothing.
Yeah, no, but
This is a
also like a
story.
lick of a clown pin. Like, is he talking about like just a little piece or like literally a lick?
So
Did he do one of the
I think
dissolvables?
I think he took a Klonopin, but you know what I'm saying, like if you take a lick of one, I think
Just a
like
teeny bit.
it's I
Or
think
like a
he's
small
I think he's using it
milligram.
as I don't even know, like because like if you're
We're
catch
addicts, by the way, like in
yeah.
recovery, so like we know these things. I
I
used to have a prescription for Klonopin.
I think he's using the word lick as like the slang way you use lick.
Like just like one.
Not not so like
Little lick, little. He took one.
so the little part is the little. I think the lick is just like he's taking one. You know
I'm
what
just
I
gonna
mean?
assume he took one dissolvable. They were strawberry flavored, by the way. It was like
Some
I don't know how those exist. It was like eating candy.
yeah. So yeah, he took a Klonopin and then hit her with the ottoman and then bit her. Then I shot her in the liver, delivered her to the bottom of the river, but I'm probably gonna jump in the water with her with a wad of money because I got a lot of it. So yeah, he took the drugs and then ultimately went crazy.
Just like an outlandish thing to do.
Which is a very common theme. He turns
Yeah.
into a killer with when he
Slim
does
Shady.
drugs. Yeah, all that. And then yeah. So then he shot her in the liver, put her at the bottom of the river, but then he's going to jump with her to the bottom of the river with a wad of money because I got a lot of it. And when it comes to dripping, I be sopping like 100 miles an hour, never running out of either one of them. Never running out of either one of them. I gotta get it because either one of them's throwing me off.
Yeah, I'm not following this line, honestly.
Okay. I'm probably going to jump in the water with her with a wad of money because I got a lot of it. And when it comes to dripping, I be sopping like 100 mile an hour, never running out of either one of them. I got to get it because what's the either one of them?
Money or
When it comes to dripping, I be sopping like
bitches?
100 mile an hour. I maybe money. Oh, I think so. I think money and women. I think so.
I guess.
And then I got to get it
He like
because
never raps about that.
and
It's
then it goes to the
interesting.
chorus. Yeah, I know. All right. So,
Okay.
Nat.
So it's really good. I totally forgot that they changed the
beat.
Beat 3 times. Maybe I didn't even notice it or listen to the whole song, I don't know. But it's really good, it's really impressive. He does that thing where he starts speeding up his raps a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like it.
This is good. It
Very bars.
yes, it made sense that it was a single to me.
Yeah,
Not I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, this makes sense. And yeah, I love the beat changes.
Yeah, it's
I remember
good.
it threw me off. I remember when I heard Sicko Mode the first time with Travis Scott and Drake.
I
I
like
was
that
hearing it on the
song.
radio, and for the longest time, I thought it was multiple different songs. And then, like by the third time, I'm like, wait a second, why do they keep playing these two songs back to back every time I
That's
listen to
so
them? And then I
funny.
was like, oh, but yeah, this reminds me of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great song though. It's
agreed.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So, oh yeah. Don't forget to check out Carnivore Snacks, SeatGeek, follow us on social media channels if you want to. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.